Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is a fun fold and it's kind of an interactive card. What we're going to do is we're going to create a card where we're going to stamp on the front and the back, and we're going to then insert it into a pocket. And then that pocket can then be put into a regular A2 sized envelope. So it's kind of a fun card, and I'm going to show you how to make this. And I want to introduce you to this absolutely fabulous hand-penned petals suite. This is in our new annual catalog, and I am falling in love very quickly. Just to give you a quick look at the designer series papers here, I'll just take them out of this plastic sheet to avoid the glare. There are, of course, 12 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. There are two sheets of each, and there are floral images on the front, and there are coordinating patterns on the back. And the colors in here are Blushing Bride, Cinnamon Cider, Daffodil Delight, Garden Green, Highland Heather, Mint Macaron, Misty Moonlight, Pale Papaya, and Pool Party. So you have lots of colors to play with. There are some new in colors scattered in here, as well as in colors from last year, which are carrying forward for one more year, plus some of your regular colors. So lots to play with. So you can pick up the colors from the designer series papers here, and then have some fun. Now the stamp set is gorgeous. It is a two-step stamping set where you have your outline images and then you have your fill images. Now I will tell you ahead of time that these fill images do not fill exactly to the edges of the flower, which is intended. So you get a little bit of white space in here. But if you don't like that, I will show you a way by using your blender pen how you can fill in the rest of those white spaces if you don't like that. Or you can just go ahead and color them in on your own. You don't have to use the two-step stamping. There are some nice greetings in here. I love the script of this thanks. There's a feel better friend, anything is possible, and a congratulations. So a beautiful set. And then it comes with a set of coordinating dies. These are absolutely gorgeous dies. There's this fabulous floral bouquet that you can cut out, and then you can also cut out the outlines from some of the other stamps. And you can also cut out some of these flowers to put on top of the stamped image rather than coloring it in. And of course there's this gorgeous scalloped edge, which is great, which I'm going to use today too. So let's get started. What you want to do with this, first of all, is this is what's going to make up the inside of your card. I've got 3 different layers here. All of the cutting and scoring measurements will be on the blog, and that link will be down below. So this makes up your card. So this is the front of your card, and then if you like, you can put another piece of basic white on the back where you can actually handwrite your greeting. Now I don't know if I have another piece here, but I can get one a little bit later here. I've got some very vanilla pieces, but no white. So I'll pull in another white piece and finish the back of the card. Okay, so you can decorate this as if this is the front of the card and then continue on the inside of your card. And then this piece is what makes up the pocket. Okay, so you pick your designer series paper. Be careful if it's directional, and then you want to decide what's the outside or the inside. I thought this made a nice inside, and it's going to basically be folded like this as a pocket. And so if it's directional paper, you want to make sure your flowers or your pattern is going up like that. Okay, so let's show you how you make the pockets. Very, very simple. So I'm going to pull out my scoreboard. I do like to use my scoreboard for scoring, but you can use your trimmer as well. And there's some very, very easy scoring that you're going to do. So you're going to decide if your pattern is going to be up or down. So this is going to be the outside of my pocket. So I want the flowers showing up. Okay. And this has to do with how you score the paper and where the fold is. So I'm going to score this at 3 1/8, and then I'm going to flip it all the way around and score it again at 3 1/8. That's the easiest way to get your two sides to be even. So 3 1/8 from this end, 3 1/8 from this end. And then I'm going to, this isn't directional, but if this was directional, you would make your flowers go up, and then this would become the bottom of the card. And so this is where you want to score this at 5 1/2. This creates the bottom fold. Okay, and that's all the scoring that you have to do for that. So I'm going to fold up my fold lines or score lines, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and give them a bit of a rub. This helps to make them nice and flat. And when you're folding over the sides, make sure your edges, you know, line up nicely. So we'll do this one as well. Okay, so now what you want to do, we have to create the pocket. So I'm going to use my bigger scissors here, and this is the bottom of the so-called pocket. So what you're going to do is you need to get rid of this little piece here and this little piece over here. This is the back of the pocket, and you want to get rid of these pieces here. So I'm going to cut up on my score line and cut this piece out here. And then I'm going to wedge in here to get rid of some bulk in that corner. Okay, and then I'll do the same on this side. I'm just going to wedge in here, and then I'm going to get rid of this piece here. Now we're going to do some more wedging, but I want to show you where to do that. All right, so this is going to fold in like this, and this is going to fold up. So where this at the bottom folds up, you need to get rid of some bulk here, because see, it's already catching on there. So what I do is I just open it up again, take my scissors, and now where this tab piece is, this is where you're going to put your adhesive. You're going to get rid of some bulk in here. So just take a little bit of a wedge off here. Just wedge in a pie shape into that corner, and do the same on this side. Okay, just a tiny wedge like so. Okay, so now watch what happens when I fold this in and fold this in and fold this up. There is nothing catching, and then this lies nice and flat. Okay, so that's your pocket. Now we're not finished with this pocket. We want to make this at an angle. This could be a regular pocket. You could do a card pocket like this. You'd glue this together, and then you could take a circle punch and then punch out a notch at the top. You could actually do it on both sides so that you can see the insert, and then the person could just pull out the insert card. But I'm going to actually put this on an angle. So all you do is find where your score line is, and then you're going to fold your cardstock down. Now when you butt this piece up, you want to not go onto the score line, just go to the edge of that score line. Okay, because again, you don't want that to catch. You see, you want it to fold over nicely. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and give it a bit of a burnish, and you're going to do the same on this side. So you're just going to fold this over. You can put your finger in there if you have a fingernail, and then put that in there like that, and just make sure you are not going over that score line. Okay, so now when you fold this over, you end up with a nice little V in the front. Okay, and now you can actually see the card on the inside. So that's two different ways that you can do your pocket. Okay, now you don't have to really glue these flaps down if you don't want to, because you're going to be gluing this bit here. So I'm going to use some tear and tape on here. You can use the adhesive of your choice, but I do like my tear and tape. And I'm just going to get out this acrylic block that I have that has really sharp edges on it, and I'm just going to put tape on the edge here like so. And I'm just going to, you can use a ruler as well to tear the tape. I find it doesn't tear that well with my fingernails. So then I'm going to put a piece down here. Like so. So this is going to fold over like this. You don't need tape on this one. You've got tape over here, and you're going to, okay, so remember, you're only going to do tape on one side. Doesn't matter which side, but you're only doing one side. Okay, so now I'm going to just press that down, and then I'm going to use my, take your pick tool and take off the backing. I'm going to fold this over, and then glue that down. And then I'm going to take this off the bottom and fold this up. And there's your pocket. Isn't that sweet? With your beautiful flowers on there. Okay. So let's design the inside of the card now. This is usually the more fun part. So what I'm doing is I've got my 3 layers here. Now before I glue these down, I want to decorate this. So this is as if it's the front of my card. I will put my greeting on the back. I thought I would pull out this double oval punch. I'm going to do thanks on here, and then I'll do a backing on here. And I might tie ribbon around here. I haven't decided yet. But I'm going to stamp on this first. Okay. And so here you go. This is the large flower. I thought I would just put this right on the front. And then I am going to use these stamps here. And I'll show you what I mean by how they stamp, that they don't fill completely in. I like the look personally. Some people don't, so you may choose just to color them in. And I decided to use my basic gray ink to create the outline. I like that for flowers. The black I find sometimes is a bit harsh. So I am just going to put this, I think I'm going to put it a little bit higher up. No, I'm going to center it. Okay, let's put that in like that. Give it a good press. I should have had my silicone mat under there. So there are 2 surfaces that you can use, that you can purchase in our catalog. We have this foam mat here. This was used a lot for paper piercing, but a lot of people purchase this and just stamp on it, because these clear stamps, they don't have any red rubber on them. And so they need a bit of cushion. Okay, so you can either use this if you have one of these, or you can use the silicone mat. It also provides some cushion. Okay, well, I got a really good image on there, so I was lucky. But usually, I'll put this in now, but usually I stamp right on this silicone mat. Okay, all right, let's close up this ink pad, and then let's show you how these other stamps work. All right, so I'm using some of our new in colors here. I'm going to use this new Pale Papaya. This is the coordinating cardstock that goes with it. So I'm going to stamp these 2 bigger flowers in this Pale Papaya. So let's open this up. And then, so you've got, this is the larger flower, and then this is the smaller flower. Now, you'll see what I mean when I tell you that they don't line up. So you try and figure out, I mean, you can figure out more or less how the petals will line up. Okay, so you kind of pick a couple of spots where they line up and then stamp. Okay, so you see what I mean? It's not exactly at the edges, which I'm always fine with. Okay, now this is the other one. And I would advise you to get your head right over this. I'm not going to, because my head will be in the camera, so that's why I'm off a little bit here. But if you get your head right over that image, you'll get it better lined up than I am right now. Okay, so I'm going to do that one. And I advise you to hold the acrylic block down to let the ink sort of saturate into the paper. All right, now here's another 2 smaller flowers. This is a double flower for this one here and this one here. Oh, and I forgot to do one more here. I'm going to do this same one in the papaya. So actually, I don't think it's that one. No, I'm wrong. It's the smaller one. So I'm going to change color now. So I'm going to do, I think I'm going to pull in the polished pink. Is a really pretty color. This is another one of our new in colors. And again, I'm just going to look at the stamp and see where it more or less lines up. I think that looks pretty good like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take the double flowers and I'm going to stamp off so that they're not as harsh. So I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper here. So I ink it up and then I'm going to just stamp it off and then I'm going to stamp it. The one is larger and one is smaller. So there we go. And then I'll do it again. Okay, and then you've got two size leaves that you can use, and I'm going to use the soft succulent. We have two new greens, soft succulent and evening evergreen, which is really dark. So I'm going to use the soft succulent for my leaves. And again, decide how so again, these are not going to match up exactly. I'm going to turn this one around. I think it fits better that way. Then there's a tiny one. And there you go. So like I said, I quite like this look. Now, very often when you have these two-step stamping, it can be a bit challenging lining them up. And so I think now we're just not worrying about it. And so now some of the stamp sets are actually designed that way so that you don't have to worry about actually filling in the image. Now, as I said earlier, you can grab a blender pen. Now, this comes in a pack of 3, but you have to use this while this is still wet. And so what you'll do is, as it's still wet, so you stamp it and then you just drag out, you pull the color from this, like the pink area, and you pull that color into the white area, and then you can color that in better. You could also pick up the color from the lid. If you press down on your lid here, you can pick up some color or use your reinkers, and then you can fill in those white spots if you don't like them. Okay, so that is going to be the front of my card that I'm going to lay on top of here. Okay, now I thought I would do a bit of a fancy edge here. I'm going to pull out this scalloped edge here, and I will go over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to just trim this off at the bottom just to give it, like I did on this sample piece. I'll show you what it does. I made this sample piece up to see how it works. So it's got a bit of a stitching on it. So you make sure that you put the stitching like this. So the scallops are at the bottom. So I'm going to line this up on here, and then I'm going to go and cut that off. So I'll be right back. So there you go. There is the decorative edge at the bottom. I think that's quite sweet looking. Okay. So I'm going to glue this now to the card. I'm going to glue this to the pale papaya piece. This piece here. Now, you can't really do many embellishments on here or use Stampin' Dimensionals because it's going to insert into that pocket, right? So we might just reserve the embellishments for the outside of the card. We'll see how it comes together, okay? So now I'm going to, so I was thinking of tying ribbon, but we're going to do ribbon actually, I think, on the actual envelope. So let's glue this in. So this is going on the Misty Moonlight. This is one of my favorite blues at the moment. Okay, so there you go. There's the inside of our card. So now to put something on the back, this layer would be, I'm going to say this layer, this is 4 by 5 1/4. So you want this layer to be 3 3/4 by 5. So this I would put on the back of my card, and I might add a few more flowers on here. So let's see what we've got in our stamp set. I might do this. This is kind of an interesting little flower here. So I'm going to do this in the soft succulent, and then there's some flowers that go on the top of that. So let's put this on. I'm running out of smaller blocks, so we'll just put it on here now. Okay, and I have to decide on the color. I might do this in a yellow color, like a, so what is the yellow in the colors? I don't know where I put my sampler. Oh, here it is. Yeah, the yellow is Daffodil Delight. So maybe I'll do that in Daffodil Delight. Okay, so let's pull out this soft succulent. You know, I might use the darker green just to show you what that's like. This is the Evening Primrose. So let's pull this in. So I'm going to just stamp a few of these along the bottom. I apologize for that phone ringing. That's my husband's phone, and he's outside. Okay, so I might just do a few along the bottom here. And then I would decorate my envelope the same way along the bottom. And then let's bring out my Daffodil Delight. It's a beautiful bright yellow. And then let's do, I don't know what kind of flower this is. It reminds me of Queen Anne's lace, maybe. I'm not sure. I love these two colors together, this darker green and the Queen Anne's lace yellow. Look at that. Oh, of course, Queen Anne's lace, I think, is white, if my memory serves me correct. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this to the back of my card. And this piece will serve as where you'll write your greeting. So we're flipping it this way, and then we will put this on like that. Okay, so this is what's going to be put inside the pocket. Look, that fits nicely in there. Okay, and the bit of the flowers pokes through the top. So this is where I might add a few embellishments. So we also got these beautiful rhinestones, or yeah, they're kind of a rhinestone. Look how pretty these are. They're kind of in the pale papaya and the green, soft succulent, and then there's these gold speckles in them. They are just very, very pretty in real life. So let me grab my tool, and I might just put a few of these scattered around the top like that. Okay, now we got also, so these are all of the added what I call essentials, because I love ribbons and embellishments. So we got these in color ribbons as well to match with the ink and the cardstock and the gems. Look how pretty these are. And so I might just tie a ribbon around here. So let's just pull this out. And I'm going to tie a bow to the side here like this. Maybe I'll use the darker green. Let's pull the darker green out. Yes, I think I like the darker green. So I'm going to do a ribbon here, and then we're going to use this. Okay, so now I am going to get a piece of Whisper White scrap. And I want green. Let's just clean these off. Okay, green. And I'm stamping off. There we go. There we go. Now we are cooking with gas. Let's stamp it off. And we'll do another little flower up here. Or not flower, little leaf. There we go. I'm happy now. Try and get into a habit of closing your ink pads. All right, so now I'm going to cut this out. I'm hoping this fits now that I've planned this all out now. It just fits. Look at that. So yes, the leaves will get cut off, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I just want to make sure the greeting doesn't get cut off. So there's our thanks. You see how effective that is? It looks great. Okay, now this top one, I think I will do again. Maybe I'll do that in the dark green as well. So here is some of that. This is just a luscious color. This is going to be so nice at Christmas time. And isn't this a great punch for greetings? Because it gives you your layering piece at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to just take some Tombow glue. And I'll just put a little bit of glue on there. I like to use Tombow when I'm layering things, because I get a chance to move it around a bit. Okay, now let's bring this back in and tie our ribbon. Now, if I were to do this card again, I'm going to tell you, I would not use this blue. I'm going to tell you what happened. So I was designing this card, getting my everything ready, and I did a practice run with making the pocket. And the floral piece that I picked had the blue in it, and that's why I picked this blue, the Misty Moonlight, for here, because this paper had blue in it. And then I made a boo-boo, and I had to start over again. So, I should have switched out that cardstock. So, okay, let's just tie a bow here. I've got too much ribbon on that side. Let's pull this through. Okay, I'm going to tie it right here at the edge. Now, actually, I want this bow to be sideways. So let me go backtrack and do that again. So if I turn it sideways, I should get it to go sideways, hopefully. There we go, that's better. And then these little tails will just hang off the side. Okay, I can make these a bit smaller. This tail could have been a lot smaller. I hate wasting ribbon. That's why I try and keep it on the roll, and that's why I love this box that I made. I can just keep the ribbon in there and just pull it out as I need it. Okay, does that look sweet? Okay, let's just finalize this. Now this is going to straddle this, so I'm going to put a dimensional top and bottom. You want to make sure that the dimensional hits the cardstock and not just on the ribbon. So I'm going to put one top and bottom like that. And put this on here like that. Okay, there is your card. When this is all said and done, I will probably remake this and make this in the green, the dark green, to match the ribbon and the cardstock. I don't like that blue on there, so I can take this apart. This is where I'm going to promote this Take Your Pick tool, because you've got your pokey end, which I use for putting on my embellishments all the time. And then when you twist this out and turn it around, you have this absolutely super duper fantastic fine spatula. I love this. And so I can lift off my glue on here using this. I just wedge it underneath and I work it through. And if it's hard to do, then I just heat it with my heat tool underneath the cardstock, and then it lets go. Of course, this is double-sided, so I may not do what I'm thinking of doing. I may just do a different envelope. I'll end up making 2 cards out of this. This blue is kind of not working for me. But anyway, there are the dynamics for making this card, and I hope you will make one as well. It was fairly simple to make, and I hope my instructions were clear enough for you. So thank you so much for joining me for this Fun Fold Friday. Go make one and have fun. Enjoy your crafting. Bye for now.